Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen, talking about climbing, atmospheric flight, cruise speed, tracking ships in quantum travel. This is a summary of calling all devs aspects of flight and landing, but also we're going to be talking at the end a bit on accessibility of ships to test in the persistent universe and some implications for that. Mantling. So in the future, you're going to have to pull yourself up to ledges and to ramps, parts of ships that aren't perfectly level, because you are going to land your ship sometimes and the ramp isn't going to hit the ground properly. It might be at an odd angle. You might have to get up a little ledge that's slightly too high for you just to hop up. And the plan is to have procedural animations for vaulting and mantling. If the object is low enough, as I said, you'll just hop or jump over it quickly. But if it's slightly higher, you'll pull yourself up onto it. So the motion warping system, which is used for smoothing animation transitions and for stretching out animations to be of appropriate length, will be used for this. So as long as a ledge or platform is of a particular height or up to a particular height, you'll literally be able to climb onto it, mantle onto it. But if it's over that, then you might not be able to get up it. But they don't need to do animations for each of these mocapped or anything like that. The system will be able to handle it and stretch it out and appropriately make an animation for it. Decoupling at cruise. So there's currently a bug with cruise mode, meaning you lose speed if you decouple and then you try and turn or sort of like reacclimate yourself or try to point down or whatever. That's going to be fixed in the future. They are moving towards cruise being less sensitive to you losing speed, meaning you're going to be able to have some movement while cruising without slowing down. Typically, you'll be maneuvering very slowly in cruise mode though. So expect you to be able to do some sort of like, oh, I actually want to aim towards this station rather than this station while in cruise without having to lose all your speed as you turn. But you're certainly not going to be doing super fast maneuvers while in cruise mode. Atmospheric flight in 3.3. So there's a lot that they want to do with the flight model and atmospheric flight still. The ships require a lot of tuning as well, sort of like, which is one of the ways that they are going to have ships acting differently in atmospheres. Drag is obviously now a factor as well, but there are going to be more effects from general atmospheric factors. So based on the weather, based on the planet, based on the gravity, based on where you are, based on what ship you're flying, that's all going to affect how you kind of fly and what effects you get while you're in atmosphere, and they're going to get a lot stronger than they currently are. With 3.3, there won't be too much of a difference to these systems that we have in place now. Hurston is going to be the tier 0 release of that sort of like first planet, but it's not going to have the full atmospheric changes to flight yet. Hurston will have a breathable atmosphere in 3.3. IFCS and the flight model are not finished by any means, and they are still tweaking it. As Chris Roberts said the other week, that they don't want all ships to be super maneuverable anymore. They want ships to have a bit of weight to them. They want maneuvers and turning to matter, and they don't want all ships just both to pivot on their axis and do all the maneuvers in the world. Ships will be affected differently by different planets and different atmospheres. Pursuing in quantum travel, they want the ability to scan and detect quantum travel trails, so you could work out where a ship's gone based on finding its trail. You'll also potentially be able to find out some more information about the ship once you scan its signature. They also want to look at ways of masking trails and making it harder for people to track you. This should be, at least in part, down to your ship's items and their quality and function and sub-items. It might be harder to track quantum travel signatures that are mixed in with other ship trails. So if you're trying to track a ship from a hub area where lots of ships have been traveling, it's going to be hard for you to detect which trail is which. Smugglers also might be able to hide cargo. That makes it harder to detect as well. So little cubby holes, little crates that have got that fake what's in them or have lead lining or whatever. So there was also a little post on Reddit from Brawling Badger that said in alpha they should be giving us access to all the ships to test. That way CIG would get better statistics on ships and also better feedback on ships, and that would equal a better game. Surely that's what everyone wants, right? Chrisling CIG gave some insights and thoughts. Now, he's not speaking directly from a spokesperson from CIG about what their direction is, but he does give us some insight about some of their thought process and his opinions on this. So that's sort of what I wanted to highlight here. I see your point about opening all ships to backers to widen the individual scope of testing, but I'd like to offer a few further considerations. 1. A lot of people jump into the verse to enjoy themselves, and that's great. When playing rather than methodically testing, people are going to want to get most bang for their buck in a session. This means people are more likely to tend towards the best in-class ship for whatever they want to do. If you wanted to do some hauling, why would you take an Aurora over a Caterpillar? With universal access to all ships, I fear we would lose a lot of feedback and data on the lower tier ships. 2. When the ship you fly, your ship, is in a bad way, either due to bugs or balance, it really motivates you to speak up in a reasoned debate, enter those IC issues, and make it known. I don't think the same motivational sense of ownership will be there when a player can, excuse the pun, jump ship on a suboptimal experience. 3. We need representative gameplay. There are a lot of moving parts to Star Citizen even at this stage. Not just ship tuning, but economic and wider gameplay tuning too. If everyone, I'm exaggerating the situation a bit here, does combat missions in their Super Hornets and Sabres, it becomes a much lengthier process for us and the community to realise, oh, these missions are impossible for an Aurora or Mustang. An example of economic tuning: it becomes much harder to determine fair insurance claim prices when no one needs to claim insurance. They always have another ship to use instead. As more multi-crew gameplay comes online, we need players to be incentivized to, another example, crew a freelancer's turret rather than just taking a Buccaneer escort. Just some thoughts I had. Thank you for participating in the Star Citizen community. NB, I'm not in a position where availability of ships is a decision I can make. This is not the official view of CIG or reasoning. I just like to contribute to the public discussion. So, me personally, having ships available to buy or rent in the persistent universe is going to be awesome for players, but also for balancing the economy. Now, I understand what the dev was saying there. You do want a cross-section of all ships. You want to see all styles of gameplay. You want to see how ships interact with each other. You want to see progression. You need to see it all. You don't want someone just to focus on one area. And they want to see all the moving parts of Star Citizen working together. So, working out progression times and giving reasons for backers to play the game, that's going to be helped if players can actually obtain all those ships in the game at some point. Not just be given them, but just obtain them. So that's going to, well, at the very least, get players playing for longer periods of time. This functionality of being able to purchase or rent ships in the persistent universe has been requested for ages, and is currently being aimed for Alpha 3.3 for release on the 10th of October now. That said, actually, I do agree with being given ships if they need testing specifically. So if the devs are trying to fix a particular bug or trying to work out what's causing it or trying to get feedback on a tuning of a particular ship, I do think all backers should be given that ship during that particular phase of testing. So they go, yeah, for a week we're sorting out the M50 and making sure the thrusters work in a particular way, or make sure it works in atmospheric flight. Give it to all the backers for that time. Why not? Then you get everyone using it. Obviously, you don't get the same interaction you would with lots of other ships, but it depends what you're testing. If you want to see how it interacts with other ships, then yeah, maybe that's a bit different. Maybe make them cheaper in the store to rent or to buy with Alpha UEC. But tell me what you think down below. Every month we have a giveaway. For August, it's for a Saber Raven. All you need to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos during the month for a chance to win. A huge thank you to my Patreons whose continued support helps me run the channel. More regularly starting this month, there will be exclusive content, early videos, polls, and ways to influence the channels for both my Patreons and something new to YouTube, channel memberships and subscriptions. It is another way to support creators, giving viewers more options, as well as giving them some emotes and badges. I'll be normalizing appropriate rewards between Patreon and the channel membership service where I can, so fans wanting to provide greater support won't lose out whatever medium they choose. Thank you so much for your continued support, guys, and for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you in the verse.